It is a pleasure to have you here. My name is Lola. I am the world's only Lolotovcocktail VTuber. I ran into Scooty one Fortress Friday, and he suggested that a group of us take part in a Succession Fort. For those who are familiar with Dwarf Fortress, but might not know what a Succession Fort is, it is where one person starts a fortress, carries on with it for usually a predetermined amount of time. For me, it's going to be this stream today. And then once we're done, we pass the save file on to the next person who will then continue to play it. We settled on the name Meban Sazir Kudar Bakat Babin, Streambridges, the Immortal Games of Friends. A very fitting name for a fortress that will hopefully pass through the ages and become part of this world's history. We are right up here on this sweet spot that's a combination of beach and forest and grassland and a big load of ocean for those who wanted to maybe build something there, take advantage of the seawater. And yeah, I do frequently make pathologic references. I mean, who among us doesn't enjoy a
delicious egg?
Whilst we may not see a demon here, the elves from the circular stones are not to be trifled with. They've even taken over some of these pits. There is a tower here. And if you look in the different types of artifacts there, the second one from the bottom, the Resurrection, a brief introduction, that is a key word in a type of book that contains the secrets of life and death. Whether or not the necromancer that originally built that tower is still there, that very strongly suggests to me that they've made at least one book that could, when read, can turn dwarves into necromancers. My mission for tonight is to set us down some firm roots to establish a base for those of us who will be continuing. First thing you should always do in a game of Dwarf Fortress is pause it, as we have done here, to examine our surroundings. We have some sand pears here. We can use those for cider. We have plentiful rye, spelt, finger millet. We will have all sorts of variety when it comes to the type of booze we can drink. A good deal of sand here, which we absolutely did want. Then a large amount of the map is taken over by this ocean. You can see it takes up an enormous amount of the map. But thanks to the Dry Mines mod that we have installed, this should not be a problem when it comes to tinkering. I feel like it's only right that our expedition leader should be Scooty. Going to give all of these initial 7 the title of founder, just so that we know which ones the originals are. You've basically got the administration and the social skills. Scootieloo is apparently a lady in this case, but I think that's fine. She has a recessed chin. Her broad ears are very flat. Her hair is clean-shaven. Ow! I shall throw a flaming bottle of love through the windows of your heart. Thank you for being follower number 745. Welcome to the Cocktail Lounge. She likes bauxite, pig iron, lace agate, green glass, well, we'll be having plenty of those, giant lizards for their beauty. Specifically for their beauty. That's interesting. Absolutely detests bark scorpions. Welcome to the fortress. And let's take a look at Osmasker. Her somewhat short ears are extraordinarily broad. Love to be the cook? Yeah, we can make that happen. I gave you adequate cook to start out with. This to me says that this dwarf is pretty easygoing and only really likes to focus on one thing at a time and not really worry about anything other than what has her current fancy. And absolutely detests brown recluse spiders. Those guys are kind of dangerous though. We did bring some wood, but I want some of these larger ginkgo trees cut down. Just generally the non-fruit-bearing trees. I'm going to set us a little fruit gathering zone around, say, here. As you can see, I have brought with me some hens and roosters. At the very least, we'll have eggs, and then these sheep here should provide us with textiles. A breeding pair of water buffaloes that brought the cart with us. That's very fortuitous. We've got some cats and some dogs. This area is going to be our staging area. We're going to dig into here. Anybody who comes into here, this is going to be kind of the bridge area. I want to turn this into like a larger pit at some point. That way we have like a very good like delineation of like, this is where enemies can come into our fortress and no further. We can drop them in here. The good old-fashioned pit is easy to use for pretty much everyone. Here is going to be the area where we abod bur, or strike the earth. Go a few Z levels down and take a look for stone. You may be wondering, why am I digging a big old channel out here? You may remember previously, I started talking about how we can take advantage of surface crops here. You know, we've got lentils, we have finger millet, we have rye, all of this sort of stuff. Great surface plants, providing us some variety. But sometimes, farming on the surface can be dangerous. Well, one thing that you can do to take advantage of the surface here is to cut out an area and make sure that it has at some point seen the sunlight. Because surface crops don't need to actively be looking at sunlight. There may be some like more old-fashioned dwarves that huff and say that we don't need those surface crops. But then when you bring them some a good mug of booze created from above-ground plants, they suddenly #change their minds. Okay, I want a couple of crafts dwarf workshops here. This is very much my bare bones attempt to get this place off the ground. Actually, yeah, apple wine is a thing. I don't know if it's a thing in this game. I'm pretty sure that you only can make cider, but still, cider is a gorgeous thing. I've always been opposed to the idea that mead is on the same level as sewer brew. So I contacted Kitfox Games at one point, and I was like, hey, why is it that the wonderful booze known as mead, that delicious honey booze, why is it on the same tier as sewer brew? And what they said was like, have you ever considered that all the other boozes are so wondrous, so fantastical, that that the very lowest of them, sewer brew, is on par with mead? And I was like, you know, I hadn't considered that. Well done. Congratulations. You have destroyed me in the marketplace of ideas. My opinion may be controversial, but I like making good, like, 4x4 rooms for my dwarves. Is it a little wasteful with space? Perhaps. But at the same time, these dwarves are the founders, and the stress system seems to have been a little bit rebalanced. So I prefer that my dwarves live glorious lives. I would I'd very much prefer that if they do die, that they die with happy thoughts in their heads. I'm going to forbid all of this nether cap for now, because we've got plenty of other wood that we can use around here. Yeah, absolutely. I will get you that other miner then. His very long hair is tied in a ponytail. His broad ears are very flat. Having like broad, flat ears seems to be a fairly common recurring trait among these dwarves. Does not care about friendship. He dreams of attaining rank in society. For a fortress of dwarves, who is named the Immortal Games of Friends, we have picked a civilization of dwarves that doesn't really seem to value friendship all that highly, and I find that quite funny. We will be friends, or else. This will start out as our like animal enclosure. We'll get all the pigs and chickens and such inside. Oh, that's the edge of the map. Okay. There, we've got a dormitory. People can sleep in there until we get their rooms up and running. Yeah, I want a table and a chair to make a small office. We just need it to have a table and a chair for our manager. Then I don't have to worry about like recurring orders. Our carpenters are just going to start banging out a whole bunch of blocks. Okay, and then from here we can do a couple of nest boxes, because we want those for our chickens. Because not only will that provide us a source of food. Thank you for the delicious egg. The fishery will not only give us a plenty of foodstuffs, it'll also give us the shells. We can use the shells for crafting. Yeah, we can sell all of that like hippie jewelry directly to our siblings in the mountain. I am ordering us to dig pretty deep, because I want the caverns. Oh boy, I wonder who played that sound. Ash. Oh, goodness. Chocolate chip? Hell yeah. Oh no, I wonder who that was. Yeah. Could have been anyone. Hello Ash, how are you doing today? Concern. One of these days it'll be me, yeah. And then I will blame Ash, and then no one will believe that it wasn't Ash. You've heard the story of the boy who cried. You know, it's a tragic story. Ooh, okay, we've got clay. We've got clay. Hell yes. If we put down a kiln, we can start making some highly profitable industries. Cool, we have some tetrahedrite. We've got some malachite. Okay. Dolomite, microcline. Okay, so we've got plenty of fluxstone. Stuff to make copper and silver. Nothing iron just yet. That's okay. Because we've got the sand here. This can be like our area for like kilns, furnaces. We give the nobility the warmest of welcomes, shall we say. May have to do something about this particular labor. Only selected people gather plants. We can't have literally the entire fortress doing this. So Osmasker is going to be our herbalist for now. Yeah, Boat Murdered is eternal, and one of my other favorites is Syrup Leaf. One of the founders was someone named Holistic Detective. They basically could not kill off a previous fortress. So they decided to turn some of the people into undead of like some like strange like variety. They basically turned that into a story. Like, what if though that undead then created more spawns of itself? And so began the legend of Syrup Leaf. Syrup Leaf, they basically modded in these like spawns of Holistic Detective. Crazy powerful humanoid creatures with like split open mouths all the way down their torsos, and an abiding hatred for all life. And they hoped essentially to hold off these spawn for basically as long as possible. They didn't know if they would ever stop coming. They don't stop coming, and they don't stop coming, and they don't stop coming, and they don't stop coming. Now that these tiles have seen the sun, we are going to put blueberries in the summer. Because we don't necessarily need to cook or eat these kinds of things. We can make blueberry wine. Blueberry wine is pretty top tier. I have had some myself. Like, the local brewery did not add sugar after the fermentation process, and so the wine that they created was always little drier, and they would throw in whatever else was growing with it. So one year there was a crop of blueberry wine that some mint was growing wild in the local area, and so that 1 year's blueberry wine tasted a little bit minty, and they would never have that specific taste for that for any other year. All right, let's check out the kitchen orders. I don't want you to cook blueberries. I want you to brew them. Let's not cook plump helmets until we can get other stuff in here. Let's not cook our drinks either. That's a quick recipe for running out of drinks. Plums? There are plums all over the place here. Hell yes. Get me those plums. Yeah, gender is a journey, not a destination. And so finding out what is right for you is that's part of it. My audience is full of a lot of gender non-conforming people. I'm sure if anybody will be able to help you, I would like to feel that this is one of those places. He is brave in the face of imminent danger, is pleased by his own appearance and talents, has a greedy streak, tends to stare unwaveringly when he is speaking to somebody. Can you imagine just staring unwaveringly at someone when you're speaking? That their eyes just bore into you, into your very soul. That maybe they're not aware of what they're doing, but you can feel your insides just squirming as they continue to stare, unblinking, unwavering. Thank you. Although it is a grim reminder of the winter hardships to come, the supply caravan from the Chamber of Murdering is a welcome sight. Their eyes are alight with the anticipation of inspecting the splendid product of your industrious craftsmen. Take careful stock of your own stores. What these merchants offer might very well be the difference between a prosperous future and meaningless death. We don't have a trade depot. It's a fun challenge to go out into the ass crack end of nowhere in a glacier or a tundra and just see, can you survive without all the usual luxuries? Freezing oceans make for interesting if risky opportunities. Oh yeah. I would love if we could get some freezing oceans. Oh, we need a broker. Broker. Is there anyone with any skills? Wow, these new migrants here have just ridiculous skills. This engraver here, you know what, we'll go with them. We can make crafts out of shells, because if you take a look in the fishery here, you'll see that we've already been pulling out some nautilus shells, leaving the raw nautilus able to be cooked. So we can craft the shells into something useful. So we will never be short of things to craft. Hematite. So we have hematite and we have dolomite. We have everything that we need to begin making ourselves some steel. Okay, we're going to make sure that all counts are accurate. We're going to give the bookkeeper an office here. It's just this tiny little alcove. Do what needs to be done to make sure our stonks are accurate. Honestly, I love the stupid science. I love the fantasy of finding a creature and basically squeezing infinite amounts of silk out of it. I love tapping into a volcano and using it as partly as a smelter, but also as a garbage dump. Okay, all those crappy shell bracelets, those are getting sold. Good. All right, let's get a jeweler's here. We can sell off some cut gems to them. One of the best things about the surface fruit, it's one more way in which your dwarves can stave off boredom from having the same old booze over and over again. Couple of smelters. Smelter? I hardly knew her. Okay, we've got some types of different furnaces going on here because we have sand and we have clay. So we won't even really need to build storage items out of wood, like glass and clay, to make pots and jugs and all of that sort of thing. You watched the Stars War? Were there wars and or stars? Did the stars fight each other, or what exactly? What is the star and versus war situation? It is fascinating that samurai and Gatling guns, telegraph machines, the Confederacy, Abraham Lincoln, all of these things somehow existed together in this wild period of time. Oh no, there's an open space right there into the fortress. Let's get that sorted quickly. We are just going to pave over this with stone. That happened because we cut down a tree that was directly over a space that we had cut into. That is... Oh, and there's another. These little open spaces, if you don't notice them in time, can be the death of a fortress, because invaders will just happily jump into them and murder you. So watch out for that. Look, guys. Look, gals. Look, NB pals. The ocean freezes over here. Ho 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 ho. Let's get some rock blocks going, folks. I think think you all are going to need them for whatever projects that you have planned. Winter, I hardly know her. Oh, Cherry. Whilst the frozen ocean can be dangerous, it represents opportunity, and we're gonna cut in and see how deep the ocean goes. Dig out the entire ocean and wall it off. You know, I will plant a few seeds here, metaphorically speaking, under the sea. If you guys want to create like an undersea base, that would be hilarious, and I would be all about it. We could make like a glass thing. Yeah, we could have like a full-on just like glass dome under the sea. Oh, that Dwarven Sea Lab. Dwarven Sea Lab. Dwarven Sea Lab. Imagine a self-contained visitor tavern that is built around the season on the ocean. Oh my goodness. That is insidious, and I love it. Smooth, silent but deadly. We can put a library there, so it can be like a place of learning within the confines of the sea. Building walls and a roof underwater be enough to hold back the ocean? Only one way to find out. You know, we could. Whoa! What is this? Sea otters! Look at them! Look at these little buggers, just gliding across the snow. They don't give a fuck. I love it. A headcanon for no reason that they're gonna look. That voice is actually mine! I just go ahead and do this with my voice. See, can I, using that voice, say, C is for Cookie, and Cookie is for me? You can do Bane to yourself, you're in the right mood, yes. Every time I come here, the person misspells my name on this coffee cup. He knows my name is Bane, and he keeps spelling it Bang. But yeah, like, can you not see, like, Kermit, like, sweeping a little broom, being like, poor, all my life I've always been poor. I keep asking God what I'm for, and he tells me, gee, I'm not sure. Sweep that floor, kid. Downtown, where the folks are broke, you go downtown. Where your life's a joke, you go downtown. Someone show me the way to get out of here. 'Cause I constantly pray I'll get out of here.
My boobies, my massive fucking titties, my super stuffed milkies, my honker bonker doinky boinkies, my fabric stretching, wind flapping, gravity welling sex mounds. You mean these super duper ultra hyper goddamn motherfucking tits?
Yes. DBZ abridged Vegeta is literally just screaming it at the top of his lungs. It makes it objectively better. Okay, so that's going to be the start of the ceiling for the base. So the dwarves just have to run across the ice and put that glass down. You know, I was supposed to be making defenses for everything, but then suddenly everyone was like, C lab, C lab, C lab. And I was just like, okay, we're doing a fucking C lab, I guess. And then we'll see if it holds back the water, because we've got supports and like walls on like 4 different places here. As you may be able to tell from my aesthetic, I'm a big fan of marks. See, I brought some nether cap with us just because it's 3 points. It's just as expensive to bring nether cap as to bring any other type of wood. However, it has a very special property in that it is always the freezing point of water. Uh-oh, we're into spring. We're about to see what's gonna happen with the water. No, you dare. Bad. Okay. Ooh, that was a little frightening for a moment there. Seems like this area is pretty cold. We're gonna see what happens when the ocean melts with all this glass. Is it gonna cause a cavern collapse? We don't know. Quick, dwarves, get it in. Get all those supports shored up. We're about to get a absolute ton of seawater crashing into here, and I would prefer it if none of you were in here when it started. A lot of our people seem to like goats for their eating habits. Brown recluse spider-men for their venomous bite. I've never seen anyone like brown recluse spider-men specifically, like anthropomorphic brown recluse spiders. Arch nemesis, the brown recluse spider-man. Just as a treat, we're gonna do a rock statue. We are going to say that it is an image of a brown recluse Spider-Man of indeterminate gender. It's striking a triumphant pose and falling, and we're gonna make it on repeat. So we're gonna get a whole bunch of these brown recluse Spider-Man statues. I hear that he does whatever a brown recluse spider can. Okay. Let's see if we can get this done. We're gonna build a wooden bridge out to the green glass floor to try and like fill in more of the sea lab. No! Oh! Did you see that? Did you see that? It was so fast. Oh my goodness. Okay. None of the dwarves seem to have been injured. Look at that. We can build right across. I know what I'm gonna do here. We're gonna dig a hole. Diggy hole. Diggy hole. You guys can expand on that later if you want. By like, I like to make a pit, and then I love to put something in there that will fight whatever I drop into. Like, you can ask any of my regulars. They know that it is like one of my signature moves, where I will find a mega beast that has like fallen into our fortress, and I will cage trap it, put it at the bottom of the pit, and then just let our enemies fight it. I completely forgot that we were going to do clay, and then we are just going to have as much of it as we can. Cider is just like, mwah, chef's kiss. Cider? I barely know her. Thank you, Sid. Oh, water is getting in there. Okay, it's only a little bit. It's just the tip. Is this Minecraft? Yes. It's as if Minecraft and The Sims had a baby. The new version of Steam means that no longer will you look at some random ass lever, and think, what the f*** does this lever do? We can go to show linked buildings, and you can even zoom to where that building is. You can check and see what it does. I'm going to set up a work order for pig iron bars, and then make one for steel bars as well. Whoever takes this on after me is going to have a whole bunch of steel. Screaming and suffering. Yes, and also cringing. This is our tavern. The tavern is named the Smooth Quake, which I like to think is probably the name of some sort of cocktail. I think we've run out of fuel. We have plenty more ligmanite, because you gotta dig a little deeper to find out what you need. Oh yeah, Forgotten Beasts do not step in cage traps. They have trap avoid, which means that unless you have some webs directly on the trap, it will not get caught in. So basically, they will not step in traps unless they have either fallen unconscious or they have been like caught in webs. If you can get a Forgotten Beast to spray webs directly onto a trap, then that thing will trap basically anything. Ask the caravan for Coke, is Pepsi okay? No, Pepsi is not okay. I would have asked. We're going to set up something as like a future project here. We've got a good source of clay here. We're going to dig our way over here. This is a layer of peat. Peat is a type of soil. That should be fine for our purpose here. This is going to be our future tree farm. In order to grow trees underground, you're going to need to crack the caverns. And then that way, anything that says like clay or peat or sand, it will start turning into mushrooms, sweet pods, plump helmets, dimple cups, that sort of thing. And it will also start growing mushroom trees. But first, you need to find the caverns. I have been digging down so far, I have found none of it. Who among us hasn't heard the lignite joke as a Dwarf Fortress aficionado? And also, there's the rock spelled Gneiss, which of course is pronounced nice. We're at negative 54 and we still don't have it? Okay, I guess we just keep going to layer 69. We are going to pop a statue in here of a brown recluse Spider-Man. Sid apparently really likes brown recluse Spider-Man for their poisonous bite. I love a good pit that has a monster in it. Something that will just murder the ever-loving shit out of the enemies that once I drop them in there. Why fight your enemies when your enemies can fight your enemies? What? Grizzly bear has guzzled some wine? How are there grizzly bears in here? I'm about to do what is called a pro gamer move, by which I mean it's probably going to be really fucking dumb. I'm going to try and trap them. I was literally just telling everyone why I love grizzlies, but I forgot about how wild grizzlies will drink your booze. Apparently this 7-year-old one has literally just guzzled massive amounts of blueberry wine. What's next? Is it going to steal my fucking picnic baskets? If we had cocaine, then it probably would eat that as well. Oh shit, who's fighting? Apparently Deep Space and Scooty just started punching and kicking it until it fell unconscious. Her neck and head are dented. We just started punching it and it fell asleep and then ran away and then started drinking our booze. It was just oh man, I've got such a headache. Let me just root around in this barrel for all the fucking alcohol. You know what? It is living its best life. Nobody can take that away from it. I'm really surprised that upon getting the shit kicked out of it, that its reaction was to run away and not to simply try to murder everything. I've played on several savage biomes, I've just never had wild grizzlies. I've had elephants, I've had unicorns, I've had giant giraffes, but I've never had just a regular ass grizzly bear. I did cancel one fortress because an agitated giraffe just started killing my dudes. It was ridiculous. If she goes back for the booze, we will catch her in one of these cage traps. My life has suddenly become a fucking Warner Brothers cartoon. Sheesh, George. What if we put a big old cage trap for it right in front of the cavern entrance? It is just stuck 50 levels under now. I guess we're just gonna have to hope it leaves. Depending on who you ask, if someone says that their political awakening is Bioshock, you gotta be explain. Explain right now. You're like that weirdo in your college course who was I love how Bioshock promoted Ayn Rand. I was hold up. It's her greatest crime is not that she has shaped American conservative politics for years to come. It's not that she has caused irreparable social harm to civilized society. It's that her writing is really fucking boring, and yet people still somehow ate it up. It's wintertime, and it's time for the sea lab. We're just gonna dig directly into the ice. Everything else can wait for now. We'll diggy hole a little more. It's time to start cranking out more glass. We're just gonna let this water out. Okay, there we go. Slosh. Oh, and then it instantly froze. Oh shit, did we just lose a dwarf in the ice? Oh boy. Yeah, let's be very careful about how we do this. Oh shit, yep, we did just lose one. Frozen in the ice. Lamau. That was one of the founders too. That's Dwarf Fortress, baby. Just seemed to like freeze again. Damn. That was rough. Okay, but at least we can get the ceiling on the C-Lab. That way we can focus on getting everything sealed up here. I love the concept of like Karens and how Karens became angry at the idea of like being called out as Karens. I'm like, you know, that is a typical Karen move. Karen is not restricted to a gender or to a race. Karen is a state of mind. It's a state of mind of supreme entitlement. Believing that you are owed the compliance of everyone around you. Yeah, the kind of person that uses the police as like customer service for a bad experience. Karen's a lifestyle. Country Karens, don't take me home. 'Cause you're all a piece of shit. But yeah, I could go on about that forever. But right now, I think this is a good place to leave it. And we'll be passing this on to the next in line. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. I really... This was amazing. When I heard that I was going to be the first, I was like, oh god, I am so not ready for this. I'm going to fuck this up royally. And, you know, I managed to lose one dwarf. We've got tons of food and drink. Feel free to follow me on Twitter at Lolotovc, whilst Twitter is still a thing. Here is a message to my Discord, the Cocktail Lounge. And I love each and every one of you.